DMs back at you, back to back numbered card, coming off a nice but uh somewhat unpredictable card last week at UFC 324. We had not really surprising upsets, but Justin Gaethje coming through with an upset. You had Nikita Krylov, Alex Perez, couple dogs, not an absurd amount. Um, uh, I believe Hot Hand went, I think, 10-1 or 9-2 with his predictions on the week. I went 8-3. I believe Unk went like 8-3 as well. I want to start keeping a tally at the end of each week. We don't have it this week because I have to get most picks, but uh of what we went prediction wise and possibly talk about some of the bets. But solid week. Not as much as we want to, but we're gonna try to get back for this UFC 325 card, and we'll get this one started. These first couple fights are gonna be from Road to UFC. They're in the card, of course, but if you guys are curious on who these guys are, why they're on here, and you never heard of them, because it's from Road to UFC, a tournament out in in the eastern part of the world with Asia around there, and a lot of these, it's kind of like a Dana White Contender Series but tournament format, trying to get a UFC contract. But we'll start this off with Namsarai, Batbayar, and Aaron Tao. Aaron Tao you might recognize. He's been on Dana White Contender Series. His sole loss being to Elijah Smith, who you might obviously know as a young prospect. And then Namsarai Batbayar, he's a decently well-rounded guy with his only loss coming to uh Numeral Turmanbike or whatever how to pronounce his name, another fellow Mongolian fighter. But here they are here in the final. This is going to be one of those fights where these guys are both aggressive. These guys are both not scared for action. Um, Batbayar, I believe, is more well rounded. He has the grappling, yeah, and he has an absolute bomb of a right hand and power. He throws a lot of kicks, a lot of spinning kicks. You'll see a lot of feints and that rear kick. Aaron Tao, he'll just be up in your face, angry like a pit bull. But I think I'm gonna give the edge right here to Namsarai Batbayar. I think that he overall with the grappling advantage, um and with absolute power with Aaron Tao being a bit reckless, um I think he could possibly get a nice win here. I think the odds are decent. Tao's somewhat of the hometown guy from New Zealand, but we're in Australia, same shit. But um, I'm gonna side with the Mongolian here, and I think he's gonna get it done by knockout. I wouldn't doubt it going to round 2 to 3, but these guys are gonna exchange, and I don't see the ferocity on Aaron Tao's punches like I do on Batbayar's. It only takes one for him to really drop you, and the grappling goes to him as well. So I'm gonna have to side him at -120. Betting wise, uh, you can try to take round two to start as like a parlay piece. I like Batbayar money line. Um, plus 3.5 on him wouldn't be terrible either for a parlay piece. Hot hand, how do you feel about this first fight?
Yeah, I'm not big on either of these fighters, but they both do have finishing potential. I mean, two just has the KOs, and Namsarai he's more of the well round that he could stub you or KO you. I think Dana knew what he was doing putting this fight first. I'm expecting a finish on this fight. I just don't know if it's going to be Namsarai with a sub or a knockout, or Aaron two with the KO. But I think the KO is more likely to happen in this fight. So I think KO or fight to end at KO -110 is a good piece here. But like I said, these first few fights I'm a little sketchy to bet on. But as of now, I like KO -110 here.
I like that as well. How do you feel for this first one?
When I did my research, I thought that Batbayer, Batboyer, whatever you want to call him, he like left his hands down a little bit more. Um, you know, wasn't as aggressive as Aaron Tao. I thought Aaron Tao was more muscular and more built well. You can definitely see why like the odds are so close. um, I'm gonna take Aaron Tao's spread plus 3.5 because I think he wins the fight no matter what. And if it goes to a decision that covers that. But now that you bring up fight to end by knockout by -110. I think that's a good bet, but I just think that some other stuff could happen here. But the fact that it's the first fight of the whole thing, and both of these guys are kind of like blockhead strikers. Um, I think like a not to go the distance is probably your best bet. Round three not to start is -110 as well. So, or it's -120. So I may take round three not to start like -120. I just don't like leaving it all like KO because I could see one of them getting wobbled and then someone putting in a weak ass rear naked choke and getting a sub. So
All right, we'll get this pushed into the next fight. Another road to UFC final. You have Sulanrangbo taking on uh Lawrence Louis. Louis being another New Zealand fighter, but he's fighting in the regional scene in Asia, fighting in um Australia, all around there. But Sulanrangbo, 20 years old, 9 year age difference is about. If when you look up tape on Sulanrangbo, we covered him. Well, not on podcast, but we did have our research and gems for the Road to UFC card, covering Sulanrangbo, and I think his vision is UFC level. I think his speed and striking is all UFC level. He opened as a dog in this, and then somehow skyrocketed to -250. He was like +160 at open. Heavy action coming in on him. I can see why. He has the speed advantage here. He's not weak with the sprawls and stuff like that, even though he wants to keep it on the feet. Lawrence Louis is more compact, up the middle striking. Sulanrangbo is never really on the center line. He's throwing to all levels. His kicks are there. He has snapping kicks. Um, I could see this -250 line. Obviously, it hurts knowing the opening line and having him at -250. You could have got him at plus money, but those days are gone. My official prediction is going to be Sulanrangbo um, via decision. I think that Lawrence Louis is going to be able to at least last on the strikes. And uh, over 1.5, you're getting at -190. That's a somewhat on the juice side, but as a parlay piece, I kind of like it. I don't think that Sulanrangbo is coming out here and getting a first round finish. I do think that this fight's gonna have a lot of strikes, though. I don't know. These first couple fights they're dodgy with doing significant strike props until super late, so it's tough to say now. But an over on like combined strikes may be a play here. But I'm gonna take Sulanrangbo by decision, and over 1.5's there. Sulanrangbo in round two to start isn't out yet, but you get my gist. Probably gonna go that route. Even Sulanrangbo by decision as a low straight at +2 over +200. I think I like um best here. How do you feel, Unc?
Rangbo is like a lot more active than Lawrence Liu. He's all over the place. He throws really creative striking. I think he wins the fight. I don't know if he wins the fight by KO or decision, but I think Lawrence Liu's going to start slow. He's not really the best pressure fighter, and I think Rambo is going to win the fight. His money line, is a little bit juiced to play. So I'm just trying to find, something with embeddable odds here. But Sarambo is going to win the fight, and it's going to be by more pressure, like more creative striking. And I also think he hits harder too. And Lawrence Liu just gets it just takes him uh too long to get going. So I just think Sarambo's gonna crowd him and be able to win. So I can't find like an exact bet here that I want
Yep.
to
But uh, Hothead, how do you feel? And then I saw Mo just join, so we'll let him talk afterwards. Hothead, how do you
get.
feel about that?
yeah, I'm not a big fan just based off the odds. I mean, I'll never take a debut dude -250 that's 20 years old. I mean, I think he's the better fighter here, but there's just too much juice to his name, and think there's way better options to play down the card. But if I had to take someone, I would take Szalay here, probably knockout. I think he's either going to KO him early. I think he's going to let like that anticipation debut. He's young. He wants to make a statement. I think he's either going to find the KO early or Luke will climb back and finish later on in the fight or win a decision. But I think Szalay has a very good shot at finishing this one early here.
All right, Mo, for this one, and what do you got for that Batbayar versus Aaron Tao fight as well? We just covered that.
I got the other guy against Aaron Tao. I think he's just a way better
Batbayar?
fighter. Namsai Batbayar.
Yeah.
I think he's way better all around than Aaron Tao. I think Aaron Tao is just overhyped. I feel like the odds are only close like this because it's in Australia and he's very well known and a lot more people know him than that guy Batbayar. But that guy Batbayar is a demon. I think the money line at -125 is a lock, but you never know. It's road to UFC at the end of the day. Also, for this fight, I was very, very high on Lawrence Liu. His striking is elite, but I was watching some tape on Sulanrangbo. He also has elite striking. So I just came down to that this fight is not going the distance. Somebody's going to get knocked out here. I like the under 2.5 rounds, -166, or just fight not to go to distance, like at -200, I think it is. Where
Right.
is it? Yeah, it's -185 for fight not to go the distance. I'd rather take that than the under 2.5. Gives us an extra 2.5 minutes.
Well, that picked up my pick of now I know what I'm betting. Thank you, Mosif.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, it just comes down to that they're two elite strikers, and I don't think he's going to see the final bell. I really think Lawrence Liu is like he has value at +205. Honestly.
All right, we'll keep this one pushing. We got another Road to UFC final. We got Kiichiro Nakamura taking on Sebastian Szalay or Szalay, whatever. You're gonna have. I feel like you're gonna have strikers delight here. You have Kiichiro Nakamura, who gives me kind of that Japanese street fighter. I don't know if you guys ever seen that like reality TV show. They have a bunch of Japanese guys. They're always fighting and doing shit. But That's what Kiichiro Nakamura reminds me of. He just wants to get into a brawl. He's gonna bring the pressure. He's gonna take shots. He's like the Japanese Dan Hooker. Then you got Sebastian Szalay, uh, wicked striker, flows in and out of range really well. Um, he kicks to all levels. Uh, he's gonna be smaller here at a disadvantage of the height and the reach, which is like that's why I think the line's so close. Um, because they're gonna be brawling, they're gonna be exchanging, and Ichiro probably gonna have the majority of the pressure, and he's gonna be bringing the fight. I do think that he leaves his chin out there a little bit too much. I don't really see him getting finished here, although obviously it's possible. I think he's more likely to catch Sisley, but to cut to the chase, prediction wise, I'm gonna have to go with the hometown guy. I think Kichiro is really good, but I think that he's gonna try to put on a show too much, and he's gonna invite Sisley. And the way that uh these guys are gonna be on the feet for way majority of the round. I do want to point out that Nakamura does train with Rinya. I'm not sure if they're related, but he does train with Rinya Nakamura, so he might have some grappling in his back pocket. But I haven't seen it. And if this stays on the feet and they're trying to put on a show, especially for that 25K bonus for these guys, that's huge. Early on in their career, but I'm gonna take the Sisley. I'm gonna take him by decision. I think he can edge it out. I think Kiichiro could cover a spread, but overall, I think the way that he enters the pocket and throws shit, being a hometown guy as well, and Ichiro, even in his last win, he was hurt, and he was fighting against a guy who was way slower than him in the striking realm. Sisley, I think, is as fast or faster with his strike, so I think he'll be able to flow in the range, like I said earlier. And his money line's not too juiced, getting it at around -135, -130 range.
Am I hearing this shit?
What? I'm lagging.
Dude.
What's
Yeah,
up?
I'm about to say, Mike, I didn't hear a word you just said. That shit was just lagging crazily.
Well,
I thought that was my Wi-Fi for a second.
Yes.
maybe it's mine, but regardless, it's recording from my computer, so it wouldn't really matter for me. But at the end of the day, I said Sebastian Szalay on the money line. That's my pick. What do you got, Unc?
They're both gonna knock the shit out of each other. Nakamura with that one knee knockout that he had was absolutely insane. And the amount of force that he generated from such a little distance to cause that was some shit that I haven't seen in a while. Maybe since like Masvidal with the running knee. And Szalay he just looks like a car crash fighting from the tape that I saw. Everything is just they just want to go fight. Uh, throwing a lot of punches, no backing up. So I'm gonna take that the fight ends by KO, which is plus 100 odds. And if I had to pick a winner, I think Nakamura wins, or he gets tired and gets melted.
All right, Mo. Mo or Hot Hand. Doesn't matter.
Oh, my bad. I forgot to unmute. Well, Hot Hand, I'm sorry, bro, but I'm on the opposite side as you on this one, bro. I think this fight is going
That
to a
was me,
decision.
bro. But
That
that
was
was
Unc.
on. Go ahead.
I think this fight is going to a decision.
Same.
Sebastian Szalay is very, very tough. He's never been finished. Out of his 10 victories, 7 of them are by decision, and he's only lost 1 decision. And Nakamura is, like you said, he's a striker who's gonna come out looking for those power shots. And unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna land for him. He did have a crazy knee knockout on the road to UFC last year, but I just don't see it against Sebastian Szalay. So I'm going with the hometown hero here. I'm picking Sebastian Szalay money line. And if you want another play, I'm taking the fight to go to distance as well. I like both of those.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, same Mo.
But if you just want to be more safe, I'd take the distance because it's truly a pick 'em. But like since I think it goes to a decision, that's why I think Sebastian wins.
Yeah. Hot Hand. How do you feel?
Yeah, in this spot for the money line, I like Sebastian, but the only thing I'm iffy on, I think Nakamura does have that finishing ability. He's older, but he has the reach and he has the size advantage on Szalay here by 4 inches and a 4 inch reach. So I think he's going to have the edge on the feet, and I think he's going to be packing more power than Sebastian. But like Mo said, I think his chin will hold up to a point where we see Nakamura either tire out here or we're going to see Szalay get a finish, but I don't think that's very likely. But anyway, I think Nakamura is just too old to be starting a UFC career at 37 years old. And like Mike said, that he may
It
or
says
he
he's only
trains.
27.
It's showing me 37.
No, it says he's 27. He was born in 1998.
Oh damn! Well then my shit's tweaking.
Yeah,
But
27.
damn. Well, I was kind of banking off that he's too old to fucking be starting his UFC career at 37 years old. But either way, I still like Sebastian in this spot. I think his chin will hold up long enough that the power gets out of Nakamura and he runs away with it. He'll probably get the hometown sway as well. You guys got to remember these fights are in Australia, so
Also, my bad to cut you off, Ryan. What did you guys have for that Aaron Tao fight? Because that's also why I think the Chinese guy wins in that fight because there's not going to be too much of a crowd there swaying their opinion.
I got
I had
Batbayar.
KO.
You guys
KO
have who?
minus 110.
You got
Oh, just for the fight to end in KO?
yeah.
Yeah, minus 110.
Okay,
KO,
what you got, Mike?
but I'm taking a side bet on Tao's spread in case they last.
Okay.
I think it'll be a 29-28 across the board.
I got
I feel like
Batbayar
it will.
money line.
What do you got? Who?
That
Bat
Batbayar
bar?
money line. Yeah.
Okay, all right. But my
Uh,
bad, Hot Hand. You go ahead.
You good, you good. But either way, I like Sebastian in this spot. I'm gonna lean towards the Australian fighter a little more on each fight because we know that they could sway uh, with them being in Australia. But in this spot, give me Sebastian money line.
All right, we'll keep this one pushing. as we go to, I think this is our
My
last
guy right here.
Road to UFC fight on the card. There might be one more, I forget. But Don Marfan
Thanks a lot.
taking on Kim Sang Uk. Might have butchered it, but you got Kim Sang Uk. Started his pro career as a 5-6 amateur. Scraped his way here. Um, he's bringing pressure to your face, and he's always going to be there for the brawl. But I think Don Marfan is very, I don't want to say lucky, but even when he has like his back taken or in vulnerable positions, he remains calm and he gets out of them and he's ending on top. He's getting him out. He's a good striker. I like him in this spot against Ook or Song Ook, but if he's wearing double knee braces like he did in his last fight, I'm gonna be really sketched out because he wore double knee braces and that's like the cardinal sin. And but Kim
Dude,
Sang-gook,
Mike,
I think
Mike,
his only real path to victory is a submission, in my opinion. Or if they last in the decision, he gets like a split. But I think Don Marfan could win this any way he want, like any way. I think he can win by submission, decision, or a knockout. I'm just gonna take the guy with more ways to win. I think if he attacks the body of Kim Sang-uk like he's been hurt in the past, um, and hometown kid, so on these 50-50 shots, I'm gonna take Don Marfan on the money line. That's like minus 170 on the good side. But I like an over here. I'm gonna take a look what the odds went for that. But an over 1.5, or here we go, over 2.5, like minus 200. I'm not really liking that much. Maybe round 3 to start your
I don't like
parlay.
that at all.
Yeah, it's too juiced for
Dude,
that. I don't like that. But
I think Dom has a potential sub chance in this fight.
yeah, I think he can win whoever. And I'm just gonna slide by. My official prediction is gonna be Don Marfan via decision, prediction wise. But pick wise, I probably just throw a fan either in a parlay or take an over. But uh, I don't really like those
You,
numbers on the over. I gotta look at a takedown props. They're obviously not out yet. You take a look at Don Marfan's takedown props if they're not
that
like
would be very good.
over if they're not like over 3.5 or over 2.5. I think he can get 2 takedowns in this fight fairly
Did you
easily.
say?
I
Did
agree.
you say? Are you worried about his knee sleeves, Mike?
He wears double knee
Yeah,
braces.
I was confused when you just said
Yeah,
that, Mike. What do you mean?
yeah.
His last fight, he wore double knee braces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
No,
but like, what's wrong with that?
No. Normally that means that somebody's hurt and messed up. But I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go next. I'm
Go ahead.
taking I'm gonna take Don Marfan's money line at minus 148 and just call it like a clean cut. He wore those knee sleeves last fight and wrestled incredibly beautiful, and
Oh, yeah, that's my bad.
I think he can get a submission on the ground, or he can
Yep.
decision it to whatever way he wants to go. But no, Mike, you're absolutely right. Like, who killed me? Sean Brady. Sean Brady killed me with the braces. So, but I just wanted to ask, our that Kim wasn't wearing. We got two guys wearing braces,
No,
but no, just
just Dom.
yeah, and I don't think that hindered his wrestling ability, but no, you're absolutely right. But okay, go ahead, Mal. I'm Don Marfan minus 148 money line. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're all on Don Morfon here, unless Hot Hand has another opinion. But I think on the road to UFC slate. I think he's by far the most safest money line play, by far. Because at the end of the day, he has that grappling edge, he has the submission edge, and he could also strike with you. My take on the double knee braces thing is I've always assumed they wore double knee braces because they're about to wrestle the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? Like they're about to shoot like 100 shots. That's why I feel like people be wearing double knee braces. But I think he's gonna win no matter what, even if he's wearing double knee braces or not. Like no matter what, I think he's a lock straight up.
Hot hand.
Yeah, in the beginning, I was
Watch
on
out!
Don
Watch out!
Marston,
Watch out for
but
Don Moore fan sub. I wonder what the odds is on that.
I have it up right here. It's
I don't have no fucking odds yet for none of these fights, bro. I only have the fucking 5 main cards,
um
like the 5 main fights.
the odds for submission for Don Marfan is plus 400.
God, I like that. That's definitely a nice little sprinkle.
But hot hand.
Yeah, I like Damar Finn here or a takedown ladder with him. I think he has good takedown offense for sure. And I think with his both of his losses being by sub, that Kim Sang may initiate the ground game and not really trying to resist the takedowns, but more try and work his BJJ in. But give me Damar Finn here, his takedown ladder. I'm iffy to play money lines with these road to UFC whatever, but I think his takedowns is probably the best bet here.
All right, we'll keep
I
this
wonder
one.
if it's gonna be at 2+ or 3+, because he's definitely getting a bunch of takedowns this fight.
Move on to some actual already established UFC guys. We got Yizha taking on Ofli.
Can Ofli, he ain't no established UFC guy.
He just got to win. He's coming up a first round finish and
He's
a
whack.
bonus.
He's whack.
Yeah, he is. But regardless, we got two guys that are gonna want to grapple. That's what this is what it is here. Yizha, I'm gonna give to the edge in the striking realm. He can kick. He's putting bombs down. He can take a shot. Um, even if you see in his losses, or his loss against Gabriel Santos, who I think's the high level. Um, he's putting pain on there. He's dropping bombs with his shots. He has high IQ with his striking and range control. Ofli, lackluster in the striking realm, has a little bit of power on him. Uh, but you're not gonna see much from him there. And the clinch is where he makes his bread and butter. And even before he got that submission over Ricardo Ramos, he was in a deep knee bar, fighting that off, and then just opportunistically got the back and ended up getting the sub there. I think he's gonna want to grapple here. I like any type of over. Um, but what it came down to was for me because I think this fight at first I'm looking at it as Ofli. Um, I think he has a little bit of value on his line at plus 170. I think he can cover a spread here. I do think the finishing size on Nisha, but uh, I do think I would be hesitant on laying over minus 200 on Yizha here. I do think he's better everywhere, in the striking and the grappling, but I think I think we could see one of those close decisions. So I'm gonna pick Yizha via decision as my official prediction, but I won't be playing Yizha money line. Um, in anything. I don't believe. I don't. I just have an iffy feeling watching tape that this fight's a little bit closer than the odds are saying. But I'm not going to be sitting here taking Ofli. Get a W today. Plus 3.5, minus 145. I don't hate that at all. Plus up to plus 7.5 possibly. I don't really see a finisher. I'm looking at overs. I think that first round finish for Ofli and that last one was uh a one shot. Like it's
Fluke.
not happening consistently. So a
Fluke.
Yizha decision is the prediction. Uh, Mo, what do you got?
I used to be very very high on Can Ofli. I thought he was gonna be like the next big thing in this division, and he fucking highly upset me in that fight. He got knocked out by Marlon Santos. That shit was so fucking upsetting, bro. Like he got slept. Like that was one of the best hook knockouts I've seen in a while. And I don't know, bro. I think that his striking ability, his grappling ability, everything is way better than Can Ofli's. Like Can Ofli might be able to clinch up and hold him on the fence and then eventually get a takedown like through a trip, but I don't see it, bro. I think Yizha is gonna come out here and light him up, and I also think that there's high potential for a Yizha finish, like very high potential. So I'm going with Yizha money line. I think it's a very very solid play for a parlay, and I think it's a nice 2 leg like double up parlay if you add him with somebody else. Like you add him in with Billy Elekana and Taliesin Texeira. That's a nice 3 leg, or you could just make it 2 leg. I think that's a straight up steamer right there. I don't see Ken hopefully winning this fight in any way unless he fucking crotch sniffs him to a decision, which I can't see.
Um, Hot hand.
Yeah, I like Yizha on this spot. I think the money line's a little chalked. So if you're gonna play him, you might as well play him by finish here. But I think Yizha's reach is gonna be the difference here. I think he's gonna be able to keep Olfi at bay. with jabs and straight punches. But if he tries to go for big power KOs, I think Olfi could work a finish in. I think he could also use that to open up takedown attempts for Olfi. But if Yizha uses his length, I think he'll finish him by KO. But like I said, with the money line odds here, and someone that only has 2 fights in the UFC, one being Weston Wilson, I don't think I've seen Yizha enough to take him at minus 200.
Unk.
Hey man, he was minus 1,200 in that Weston Wilson fight.
Yeah.
I think Hughes is just a better fighter round. I mean, even with their grappling, like, I, yeah, uh, Olaf had that sub in his last fight, but like, you see Yizha mixing in the takedowns with the striking, and I just think he's all around better fighter. Uh, my like minus 200 is like my limit for like a 1 unit play. Was maybe thinking about taking Yiza by, just finish only. If it's a decision, it voids at minus 180, and maybe he's playing like a unit and a half or something. But I think Yiza this is his fight to win, and even if it does go to decision, I don't think he loses. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna take Yiza by finish only at minus 180.
All right. We'll move on.
Yeah, Mike, you're the only one who thinks it goes to a decision.
Yep.
Why do you think that though? Like,
I
I'm
just
curious
think
myself.
I don't really see Ofli getting a finish on the feet. Um, I see a lot of stalling on the cage, clinch work. Yizha ripping up Ofli's legs, and
But who do you think is going to be doing the clinch work?
both. Ofli's gonna be looking to grapple too. Yizha, that's his
Yeah.
game, but Ofli is
That's
a
that's the
clincher.
only success I see him having is
Yeah,
grappling, clinching against the cage.
yeah. I think I don't see either one of them really getting finished. If someone gets finished, I think it's gonna be Ofli getting finished by um probably a TKO, but I see a decision here. That's just my
I don't know why I see a volume TKO here, or maybe like a club and sub even.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think it goes to the distance here, and um
No,
Yizha
yeah,
picks it up.
I just wanted to know why you had that. I was curious.
Um, well, yeah, we'll go to the next one. This is a rescheduled bout. We got Obon Elliott and Jonathan Micallef or Micallef.
Oh yeah, I've been
Um,
waiting for this one.
this one we covered already before on this episode, but they're actually fighting. Well, hopefully this time. Uh, and it's just
Who
this is
pulled
one of
out
those
last time?
what
Who pulled out last time?
Obon Elliott due to illness.
Okay.
Um, but the line was actually flipped last time around. Obon Elliott was a slight favorite, super close though, like this would pick him, damn near. But we have Obon Elliott. I think this line's a little bit disrespectful. I think he should be a slight favorite, just on the sole fact that our only like real fight in the UFC for Jonathan Micallef was a win, a decision win over Kevin Doucette, who wasn't UFC level, and then went to PFL and got his ass knocked out in PFL. So
Yeah, that was sad.
and not even like the world tournament. He was in a fucking like PFL Europe, getting
Regular.
knocked
Yep.
out on the undercard. So, or
Yeah.
not even the co-main. But anyway,
He sold
I
me so bad that fight, bro. He's a bum.
I just think uh the line's a bit disrespectful. I do think Micallef has better jujitsu. Um, I do think he looks a little uncomfortable on the feet with the striking. He does throw some nice kicks. They're strong kicks. Obon Elliott's gonna be bringing pressure in his face, though. I think he has decent top pressure. I don't like a money line in this fight, really at all. I keep going back and forth. I keep thinking Micallef unproven, and Obon Elliott. I feel like he's getting disrespected because he had that hype train coming into him into that his last fight, and I don't think it was as much as him getting fraud checked, as much as Co actually may be legit and was being super underestimated there. So I feel like everyone's being like, "Fuck all his other fights." Obon Elliott's a bum. He sold as a huge favorite. So I just feel like values on his money line, or a spread. Uh, I could see this fight going either way though. Uh, I might even pick Flip before. I gotta see the face off. So I gotta feel the vibes because this is a real coin flip in my opinion. I'm gonna take the plus money here. I'll go Oban Elliott via decision, but that may not be concrete. You'll have to be in gems to really to see the end result of that. But I'll let someone who's more confident take over. Hot hand, how do you feel? Hot hand.
Yeah, my bad. I'm eating, but I like Oban here. I think Oban is going to be able to have the wrestling edge by a lot. I think Micallef has a crafty sub attempts, but it's not off of wrestling ability. So I think Oban is going to be able to out wrestle Micallef into control positions and win this fight via decision. I think a safer bet is this fight to go to distance because I don't think either of these dudes are finishers, really. I think the Oban Elliott KO on Hafez was lucky. And Micallef fought Kevin Jousset, who was French, and like Mike said, went to the PFL and got slapped. So I think this fight is going the distance 100%. That's one of my favorite plays. And I also do like Oban money line here.
Unk.
I'm taking Oban Elliott to win the fight. I think the wrestling and the pressure is going to be the difference. I think that loss is going to bother him, and he's going to want to come back and really go hard as he can. And Micallef is a good striker, but I don't think that he can defend off the takedowns as much as Oban's going to want to do. I think Oban's going to do the strike, get in the pocket, then shoot, and make it dirty and clinch work. And I mean, his whole resume is like decisions. So this guy is he's been around. He knows how to fight. He knows how to last. I mean, so give me Oban Elliott's money line plus 110. But like Hot Hand said, overall, I think it's going to a decision or going the distance, which is like minus 180 right now. So I mean that teeters on the edge of straight value, but I think Oban Elliott wins the fight, and I'll be taking probably like a half unit on his money line, as well as nice little parlay that's cooked up in the gems for the people that are subscribed to our Discord.
Um, Mo, close us out for this one.
Well, I want to start this off by saying I'm a huge Oban Elliott fan. I think he's a fucking monster. I think he's strong as fuck, and I think his hands are elite. But the way my boy Sung Ko, whatever the fuck his name is, the Korean Mike Tyson did him was foul, bro. And I bet on this Korean Tyson right there because I just knew like his striking was way better than Oban's. Took him at plus 900 decision, cashed the fuck out. And I don't know, bro. I just feel like Micallef was going to be able to take him to a decision here too. He's going to use a lot of the wrestling. He's going to mix up the striking with the wrestling. He's been working a lot with Robert Whitaker. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is like a live fight. Like this is like a live pick to me. Like you have to watch this fight, see how the round one goes, and then you pick from there. Because I still think the odds will be close after round one. But if I had to make a choice right now, I'm just gonna have to side with Jonathan Micallef just due to the wrestling edge, takedown edge. I know he'll be able to defend the takedowns better than Oban will. I know he'll be able to have better wrestling entries and get better, like way more takedowns than him. And I know he'll mix it up more. I know Oban Elliott is just gonna go out there and strike, so
Mo,
I can't rely on somebody who's just gonna go out there and strike.
You think Micallef is a better wrestler than Oban Elliott?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
All right.
After I saw the Korean Tyson taking him down and holding him there, I 100% believe Micallef
I
is the
I
way better
think
wrestler.
I think that was the fighter and not him, but that's
I don't
why
I don't know,
opinion.
but like the
Why
reason
opinion.
why My bad to cut you off on, but the reason why Cole was able to get all those takedowns is because he was opening them up with his striking, and that's exactly what I feel like Micallef is gonna do. He's not gonna shoot right away. He's gonna land a couple of good strikes, get the takedowns out of Oban's head, and then he's gonna shoot. That's exactly what Cole did. He was beating the shit out of him on the feet, and then out of nowhere he'll change levels and take him down, and then hold him there for the whole round. You know what I mean? So it's like that's how
Yeah,
I feel like Micallef's gonna do.
yeah. It's like you told like 3/4 of the room, and then you just told the last fourth right there. Okay, I have a better picture now.
So,
Yeah.
your predictions, Micallef, by decision.
My prediction is just Micallef money line straight up, but I'm not confident. That's not gonna be like my pre-pick. I told you I'm gonna live bet this fight after the first round.
All right. Well, um, move on to the next bout. We got Forrest Finney taking on Jacob Malkoun. Malkoun coming back after not fighting since 2024 March, so almost 2 years since he's been in the octagon. Hometown guy. Forrest Finney, undefeated guy, who everyone loves to hate and hates to love. Decision merchant, takedown guy with the weirdest build, and I just want to make this one short. I like Taurus Finney in this spot. I don't really see Malkoun consistently stuffing the takedowns. I think Taurus Finney is going to get multiple takedowns depending on what that prop is. If it's lower than if it's 1.5 or 2.5, I'm taking it. Like I'm taking over 3.5. I think I might. It depends on the line, but I'm taking overs on takedowns. Um, I think he's gonna be able to get another boring decision here. It may get close because of the hometown sway. 2 years out the game, a lot of question marks. I'm not paying -150 for that. So Taurus Finney plus 3.5 -150, or the gem dog. Uh, we got Taurus Finney. So I like him. How do you feel? Hot hand or anyway, Unk. You went last time.
Yo, I just want to say, yo, Mike, how's that logo on your thing moving every time you talk? That shit looks fire. It's like electricity around your name.
It's like the
That shit looks
Discord
tough.
shit.
That's fire. I like it.
But yeah, Unk,
Yeah,
hop on.
Taurus Finney has like so we followed this guy since the Contender Series. He has like a really weird build. He's only 5'8". He's built, like Mike said, real stocky, short to the ground. And his specialty is wrestling, and that's even easier for him because he's so short. So he's like perfected it, and he's so strong. And Jacob Malkoun, I mean, he's been out for mad long. Like I think this is just kind of like, hey, we needed a Australian heavyweight to get or middleweight to get in there, and who could we round up? But Boris Finney, like we said, is the gem dog, and I don't really play takedown props a lot, but I'll tell you what, I'm eager to see what Finney's takedown props open at because if it's 1 to 2, I'm definitely putting a unit on that, taking takedown prop on Finney. So, but I think overall, Finney wins the fight by KO or decision, and that by itself is plus 145 if you want to take that. I don't think he really has submission skills, but the safe play is like Mike said. The Taurus Finney money line as the whole group kind of is going with.
Mo.
Well, I'm on what you guys are on. We all agreed on this last week. I don't know how the fuck Taurus Finney is plus 130. The only thing that I could come up with as to why he's plus 130 is because the UFC wants more finishes, and if he just crotch sniffs the whole fight and gets a million takedowns, they're just gonna give it to Jacob Malkoun, especially being in Australia. It's the only reason that I could come up with that he's plus 130, bro. He should be a minus 280 against this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna literally manhandle him. And I don't know about that over on the takedown props, Mike, because like I said, the UFC is looking for finishes, bro. So they might have told this motherfucker, if you're boring as fuck and you go for a million takedowns with no finish, you're done. You know what I mean? Like look at what they just did to Patchy. They didn't even let him finish his 3-fight contract. They released him after 2 fights, and the last fight he should have won. So it's like You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if they cut this nigga if he tries to grapple the whole fight. So I don't know, man. Like I'm on him plus 130 money line, but I just can't justify as to why he's plus 130. Like I can't.
Hot hand.
Yeah, I don't know how these odds are what they are. I think Malkoun is fucking garbage. I think Finney has the wrestling edge here, as he will on most people. I'm not very, very high on Finney, but I'm high on how bad Malcolm is. So give me Finney money line, especially at plus numbers. Uh, I'm not gonna really touch a takedown prop here with Finney because the line is probably gonna be fucking absurd. And I could see once he gets him down, I could see a quick finish with ground and pound personally because Finney definitely got those power punches with how fucking small his frame is. Definitely loads up a lot of energy on them. But
If
give me Finney money line.
if his line's like 2.5 takedowns, do you take that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%. If it's two and a
yeah.
half, I'm taking
If
that in
it's
a
three
heartbeat.
and a half or higher, I'm not taking it. If it's 2.5, I'm slamming it.
If it's
I
one
just
and a
can't
half, I'm
justify 4
nuking it.
takedowns because
Yeah,
I could see one takedown each round. You know what I mean? But like, what if he gets the fucking takedown and then just straight up gets a crazy ground and pound or a submission? Like, I'm gonna be sick. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like taking shit like that. But I don't know, bro. I just can't see. I don't see why he's plus 130. And I feel like by the time the fight starts, he's gonna be a pick'em fight, like minus 110 on
Yeah.
each side, minus 115 on each side.
We'll keep it pushing though. We got Cam Rowston taking on Cody
My
Brundage.
boy.
Cam Rowston, city kickboxing product, hometown guy, taking on Cody Brundage, who's always down for a scrap, who's coming off a loss. I believe it was a robbery loss to Eric McConico. Um, I thought he won that fight pretty clearly. Um, but he lost a split decision there, and now he's fighting one of the, I would say, one of the most popular emerging guys. With excitable fights. He did Petrosky super bad. Um, Earned his way to the UFC super bad. He has the striking, and unlike a lot of guys from CKB, he has phenomenal jujitsu. Um, he's a real submission threat. So even on his last couple fights, people have been looking for submissions for him, but he could do it. He could do it all. I think Cam Rowston gets a finish here. Um, I did see on a podcast that I sent to the group earlier. He was speaking on a podcast earlier this week, and the guy asked him how he thinks the fight would go, or like what would be his vision of the fight, and he said old school jujitsu, getting the side control in the mount and getting a submission. He said getting him to the ground and submitting him. So official prediction: Cam Rowston via submission. Wouldn't beat out with the knockout, but we're touching real juice lines here. But
Odds on that?
on what, the submission?
Yeah, because I can't see it yet.
Plus
plus
220.
200.
That's it,
Yeah.
bro.
Um.
I'm mad as fuck. What the? I thought that shit would be plus 400 minimum, bro. What the fuck?
Well, like the knockout's his primary option. So it's his knockout is like minus money. I'm more than sure.
That's crazy.
Let me see right now.
I
Yeah.
think it was plus
What is it?
100 flat.
What is the KO slash sub?
Actually, the knockout's plus 150 on DraftKings. The KO slash sub is minus 185 on DraftKings. I guarantee it's
I
slightly
think that's
better.
the
I
fucking
guarantee
amazing state
the
bet.
finish. I personally, for my pick in the collab as well, is in this fight. I have Cam Rowston minus 3.5 at minus 220 or minus 230, or see what it actually is right now.
Minus 245.
Yeah, it moved down a little bit, but
I
yeah,
I'm looking at it now on DraftKings. It says it's knockouts plus 150.
yeah.
I think double chance KO slash sub minus 180 is a great play here.
I'm
Insanely
taking
good
the
play
minus
here.
3.5 just
That's
so
my pick.
I'm taking the minus three and a half just in case we get something where it goes to the cards. But that's my collab pick because I wanted to make it extra safe for the collab, and it's not that much
Man,
far off. I think he can win in that 30-27. I think that he can win at least on one card. That's all he needs is to win it on one, and that's what my pick for the collab is
I
too.
like it. It's in Australia too. I can see it.
But yeah, Mo, what do you got here?
Roustin by KO slash sub, bro. Last fight he cashed me plus 750 first round knockout against Petrosky. So you know damn well I'm gonna go with him again, especially against the Cody Brundage type of fighter. He's gonna fry him. He has like 6 wingspan on him, like 6 inches of wingspan on him. It's over. Like he's literally gonna fry him. I don't know why he's talking about a sub. If you want to be completely honest with you, he could literally hold the range the whole time, like they teach him at City Kickboxing, and fry him with 1-2s, literally down the pipe, kill him. Eventually throw a 1-2 head kick, he's dead. Like I don't know what he's talking about sub here for.
Hot hand, how do you feel?
Yeah, I'm big on Rowston. I signaled him a few days ago with another play, but or another slip or lay, but I think Rowston minus 350 is worth all the juice. I think
I
he's gonna
agree.
finish. I think he's gonna finish here. But Brundage is pretty tough personally, and I don't see Brundage sitting at range. I think he's gonna make this a dirty fight, and I think he's gonna look at how Rowston lost to Torres Finney here with the takedowns, and I think Brundage is going to be shooting a lot and trying to get this more into a
I
grappling
agree.
fight. Because if he stays on the feet, he's just going to get swiped apart. So give me Rowston's money line, and like Rowston said, I don't think it's a bad play to sprinkle on the sub here, considering that's Brundage's path to victory to make this wrestling, and I think Rowston could easily catch him on the entrance. So I think Rowston money line is a great play.
Unk?
I have the same pick as Mo. I have the same pick as Mo. So
Yep.
uh that's
All right.
pretty much what it is. Cody Brundage is a blockhead wrestler. He has a 1 in 10 chance of a KO.
All right. We'll keep that one pushing then. We'll get to
Yo, wait, by the way, before that fight ends, because since it's coming up to this fight anyway, I think Rowston and Elekana two leg is the safest two leg you could possibly have on this entire fight card.
that is really good. Two legger. I have to.
Elekana and Rowston, safest two leg possible.
I
Minus
know. Don't get me wrong, Mo. I think Junior Tafa is an absolute can, but I cannot take Ellikana at minus 250. He scares me.
I rather take an
I feel
under
you,
in
bro.
that fight than
I
that.
just I just I just think he's really good. Like not really good, but like compared
He
to
has good
Tafa,
grappling.
like I think he's levels above Tafa. Like it's not even close. I think he should be like a minus 500 here if you want to be honest. Like he's not all that himself, but it's just more so like how bad Junior Tafa is.
That I could agree on.
Bro, they're so bad, bro.
And he's
Him
gonna
and his brother,
gas.
bro.
Junior Tafa is
Yeah, bro.
100% gassing. We
100,
might as well just go to that fight.
even if Elekana loses the first round, Junior's gonna gas. Like he's not Billy Elekana's not getting knocked out by Junior Tafa if he didn't get knocked out by Ibo Aslan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I might as well start this card or this off then with that. I just like I like Billy Alcana here. My prediction's gonna be Billy Elikana via submission, but I could see him getting like a body triangle and or flattening him out and landing a bunch of strikes
Yeah, I
and
could
getting it
see that
and
too.
getting a TKO as well. So I wouldn't bank on hammer and submission prop, but his money line minus 235. We're getting to the pushy range. That's like 70% implied, which I do think over Junior Tafa he can get. He's never been knocked out before, and Junior Tafa's gonna gas. But I feel like instead of playing that minus 235, I'd probably rather play the under 2.5 at minus 205 as a parlay piece because Junior Tafa's um, path to victory would be a fluke knockout, and um, Junior Tafa I don't think can fight. I don't think it's possible for him to fight 15 minutes. I don't think that he can last in a fist fight
He only
15
went to
minutes.
one decision with Muhammad Usman in his
And
first
who is the
UFC
decision
fight.
merchant? So like I like the fight not to go the distance is like minus 290 on DraftKings. You probably get it better slightly elsewhere, but under 2.5 you're getting around minus 200. That with Cam Rowston money line is minus 110. I think that's a uh pretty safe little two legger
Yo,
there.
Mike, he also was 8 seconds away from going to round three with Tuco's last fight. Remember when he got the sub on him?
Yeah,
I
Junior
think we all took a
We're
live submission that fight, right? Hot hand. It
we're
was
on
me
Billy
and you.
Ellicana,
Live
right?
sub.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
heavy on Billy Elikana.
Um
Yeah, I have Billy Ellicana and under 2.5, and it comes out to plus 105. So stamp it.
What? Just be safer, Unc. What is Billy
Pick the
Elikana by
finish.
KO/sub?
It's not. It's minus odds.
Okay,
Yeah,
I mean, but
because
it's safer though. It's safer though because it gives you an extra 2.5 minutes. You got to realize that, Unc. I don't like to play with that. You know what I mean? Especially when I have a lot of money on it. That 2.5 minutes
Yeah.
goes a
Wait.
long way.
I thought it was
Especially,
minus. I
especially
thought
with a
it.
fat fuck like Junior, he'll gas out within that last 2 minutes and get finished. You know what I mean?
I thought it was minus 150. It's minus 115.
Yeah, that's a great bet right there.
Okay. Sorry.
I actually like the money line Billy Elekana and Rowston money line 2 leg -120. I think you had -110, Mike. But then I also
no,
like
I
Billy
had
Elekana
no, I didn't
finish
say
and
I
then
had the
Rowston finish.
under 2.5 in the Elekana fight and Cam Rowston at minus
Oh,
one ten.
okay.
But hot hand, what do you got here?
Oh, I like Elekana. I think he's a better fighter than Junior Tafa. I think Junior Tafa's only way he's going to win is if he catches Elekana early. But Elekana has good teeps. I think that's going to tire Tafa out before Tafa could even find the KO. And especially if Elekana works in that ground game, because he has good grappling and a good understanding of how to control someone. If you rewatch that Bogdan Guskov fight, Billy Elekana came off the couch and held his back with a body triangle, I think, for like 3 minutes. So Elekana has a good understanding of how to control someone on the ground, and I think Tafa is just dog shit. So I'm not betting Tafa for sure. I do like Elekana by finish rather than playing his money line. I'd rather play Elekana as a straight with him winning by finish and load up on a 2 leg with his money line involved.
Yep. Pretty much everyone
Gonna
else
do hot
touched on
hand. What
their
was that
stuff.
last part?
I said I rather take Billy Elekana straight by finish, his KO or sub, rather than take his money line at -230 something and put more on it as a 2 legger. Do you know what I mean? I rather just play it as a straight.
Okay, so you're saying you'd rather do that instead of taking him and Ralston money line?
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like what I was gonna say is I was gonna say Billy Anacona finish and Ralston finish would make it a nice another 2 leg, a plus 2 leg.
yeah, but you're around that number anyway. If you want to nuke it, you might as well play it safe. But
Yeah.
we'll keep it pushing, and we'll get to the most juice fight on the card, I believe. Um, Quillen Salkilld, hometown guy, another hometown guy, Jamie Mullarkey. Um, the big question everyone's asking is Quillen Salkilld the real deal? Is he legit? And is he gonna be one of these new era fighters coming up out of Australia? And I think the answer is yes. I think that he's legit. How he did Nazareth at Hack Prost. Yeah, that's not gonna happen multiple times in 10 fights, but it happened, and it happened flush. And he beat the shit out of Yamal Ashmouz, like beat his ass bad.
Yeah.
Um, Violated Ashton Jubilee, but anyone would violate him. Jamie Mullarkey would finish him in under 2 minutes too. So, um, I think Mo knows MMA's finishing him as well, via knockout.
I'll knock him out bad.
So, with that being said, regardless, you're not laying -900 on Quillen Salkilld, and they do have a little bit of like a caveat here because he can win by finish. Jamie Mullarkey is a tough motherfucker, but he does have a chin that's extremely questionable once you put some pain onto it. He's not gonna get knocked out off the first punch, but put a couple combinations on him, and it starts to crack, and then he gets finished a lot of time by TKOs. So I think Quillen finds a knockout here. It's around -130 ish, -140 ish, which is nice relative to a -900. That sub is obviously in the back of your mind because Quillen Salkilld has a clear grappling advantage and as clear as day. So I think he can get takedowns in this as well. I'm curious to see that line. If it's too high, I would even consider like if it's like a because depending on how they feel like the fight's gonna go, it could be like a high line, like 3.5 takedowns, 4 takedowns, considering put down a lot of takedowns in his beatdowns before. So I'd even question taking an under if it's too high, but I like Quillen Salkilld as a fighter, and I think he gets a nice knockout victory here over Glass Chin Malarkey. And you get it at relatively nice numbers. So I'm gonna be playing the knockout. I might fuck around and take round one knockout. Um, but that's my feelings on it. How do you feel about this one, Mo?
Honestly, this fight is like you said, this is like a fucking like they got something going on here because they know like everybody's either betting on the KO or decision here for Salkilld, and I think that this fight is gonna stay on the feet. I like obviously Salkilld has the crazy wrestling edge, but I think he's gonna stay on the feet this fight and put on a show for us and beat the shit out of Jamie Mullarkey on the feet. But I don't know, man. I feel like over 1.5 rounds is like has some value to it. You know what I mean? Because there is a chance he could wrestle, hold him down for that whole round. Not hold him down, but like obviously be on top of him and get some nice ground and pound. But I don't think he'll get the finish like that quick. Because like I said, Jamie Mullarkey and like Mike said, he has a great like not a great chin, but like you need to put some pain on him before it cracks. Like he'll just like eventually give out to volume. You know what I mean? Like he'll just eventually like ball up and just like put his hands up, you know what I mean? And he doesn't really like get knocked out. That's how he usually loses by knockout. So I don't know. I feel like over 1.5 plus 124 has some value to it, but I see a lot of people on Salkilld KO, and it's making me nervous. But I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go with my gut and go with the over 1.5 here. There's no other type of play that I would possibly like on this
What about
type of fight.
round 2 to start minus 130?
What? That's way better than over 1.5. I'm definitely taking that. Good fucking call, Mike.
Oh, don't take my bet.
That's such a good call, Mike. Oh my god, I didn't even like that's
Oh,
like I don't even think of shit like that. I'm over here looking at the over one
I
and a
don't
half
like
and
taking
shit.
over
Like
1.5. I like taking rounds
let me
yeah,
sometimes.
go
round
then.
round
Let me
two
go
to
next.
start is
Let me go
so
next
much
then.
safer.
All right, Unc,
I'm
take over.
taking that.
All right, round two to starts minus 130, and then you obviously kill it by KO in the first round is
Plus
plus
money.
130, and sub in the first round, I think I saw was like plus 300. So you can take either one, and you can take all three options, and you win. And that was my synopsis, but you guys beat me to it. All
Hot,
right, continue.
hot hand.
There's
What do you
nothing
got?
really else you could bet in this fight.
What do you got, hot hand?
Yeah, I think Quinlan should steamroll Mullarkey at some point, but there's no way his odds are minus 110 or minus 120 on KO. I think that seems like a trap, personally. I think it's. I think he should be like the Gutierrez minus 500 for the KO. Salkilld just been finishing people, and Mullarkey has 8 losses and 6 come by knockout. So it's like I don't know how Salkilld is minus 120 for a KO, but I'm just staying away from this fight in general. Maybe I'll do what I did for Gutierrez and take Salkilld by decision because it's plus 600, but no way should Salkilld be minus 120 for a knockout. Something sketchy with that line.
Uh, to touch on, I just found this prop too. Also, the round 2 to start is minus 128 on FanDuel. Obviously, it's slightly better, just to put that out there for people. But on FanDuel, Quillen Saul killed by knockout in either rounds 1 or 2 is even money. So you get 2 rounds and damn near the same price as the round 1 knockout on another book. So keep that in mind. But uncupped out, hold up. But I think everyone touched on it. We'll keep moving on off this juiced fight.
Yeah, you guys broke down what I was gonna say. Round two to start, and then you can pick the two options
Yeah.
for the first round finishes.
Tai Tuivasa, Taliesin Teixeira. Will Taliesin be fraud checked again? I don't give him too much fault fighting the first ever edition of Abs Derek Lewis, especially off of not much else in his resume. You still don't have a lot because he barely all of his fights are ending so fast, and you're not giving him credit. I'm not giving him credit for knocking out Justin Tafa, um, uh,
I
and getting knocked out by Derek Lewis. But I will say I think that
don't think that was real though.
he's way. I think his hands are gonna be way faster than Tai Tuivasa. We don't know a lot though. I think that he wins the fight. Obviously, we saw him how he takes it when he gets the power shots given to him. He wasn't out though. He wasn't knocked out by Derek Lewis even after how many strikes he took. He was hanging on the fence double handed though, pulling himself up. But if you're taking those bombs, I think he can survive Tai Tuivasa. At least the longer the fight goes, the better it is for Taliesin Teixeira as well. Because we know Tai Tuivasa be gassing. He's gonna be throwing everything in that first round at home. And I'll lean. I got Taliesin Teixeira via knockout as my prediction for this one. I'm not gonna put too much weight into Tai. I think his time's number. I think he's just one of those exciting fighters. But I think I think that the UFC gave the share of this fight to get him back on track because the heavyweight division's drained and they need some skilled guys. So I'm going Towson, but you're paying juice there. So um, Towson in probably round 1 or 2, but let me see what we got here. Round 3 not to start would be another look that I'd be going at. Um, I got that at, yeah. Round 3 not to start on FanDuel is damn -600. I think there's
This
value.
fight, this fight, this fight is juice, Mike. I was looking at round one knockout by this guy, and it's -200 or -250, and he's money line -350. Like it makes no sense.
Towson Teixeira
Yeah.
to win,
Oh,
but
now it's -150. I swear to God, the other day when I looked at it, it was -250.
I kind of like this right here on FanDuel. Towson Teixeira to win by knockouts in rounds 1 or 2, -140. Rounds 2 or 3 is +360.
What? It's rounds 1 or 2 is -140.
Yeah, on FanDuel.
How does that even make sense? DraftKings has it as fucking round one -150.
Yeah, they have it round 1 or 2. It's by knockout too, though. But knockout in rounds 1 or 2 -140. That's probably where I'm gonna go with this fight. And
Yeah,
then
on DraftKings it's -275.
um, yeah, they're hoes. I have it right on my screen, but um,
That's crazy because DraftKings usually has the better odds in
and a
UFC.
hedge for that, like I don't see Towson losing this fight, but if you're taking this, Towson share to win by knockout rounds 1 or 2 -140, and then round 3 to start is +400. So like you're making money unless Tai Tuivasa gets a early ass knockout, which I don't really see here. Um, but I'll
I
pass
don't
the
see him
mic.
winning at
I'll
all.
pass the mic over to Unk.
Yeah, that's kind of the strategy we're going with. The taxi driver from Brazil got knocked out 6 months ago by Derek Lewis with abs. He's getting a rebound fight from sloppy Tai Tuivasa, who's like 0-5 in the last 4 years. Um, but yeah, uh, I don't think there's any other real way to play that. I spent a good 15 minutes looking at bets today. Towson by round 1 or 2, and then the round 3 to start. I think that'd be a great way to go because you're still within the range of where you can play, a unit to 2 units on the round 1 and 2, and then just take a sprinkle on the round 3 to start, and you're covered all the way around. So that's what we're gonna go with. I do have a play in our Discord for our paid subscribers around Towson for this. So if you want to check our Discord out, it's the Fade Factory.
Hot hand closes out for this one.
Yeah. Let me close last next too. I gotta do some quick. But I like Towson a lot here. Ty Tuvasa hasn't won since fucking 2022, so that's 4 years. I was almost still in high school when the last time he won. So give me Texeira. I think he's the truth. He's the new problem of the heavyweight division. It's like 7 foot tall. He's faster, hits harder. I don't think he's ever even been outside of the first round. So I mean, I think that holds enough weight here. So give me Texeira by knockout. I think he's gonna flatline Tubasa. Everything's really juiced for him by like prop wise. I guess if you want to take him by KL, you're still paying -225, which is kind of steep. So I'd rather just play the money line at that point. But I think Talison's a very confident pick of mine.
Mo, I forgot we some.
I got Towson by knockout -225. There's nothing else I could play here. DraftKings is juice. If I had FanDuel, I would play what Mike said, round 1 or 2 knockout -140. But I'm not paying round one knockout -150. They're fucking stupid.
All right, we'll keep this one pushing then. We got, I think this is the co-main. Maybe not actually. But you have no, BSD's in the co-main. But you have Rafael Fiziev taking on Mauricio Ruffy. I went back and forth on this a lot. Um, it just comes down to, for me, I do see the danger with Mauricio Ruffy having like the bigger frame, and Fiziev's decently small for lightweight, and Ruffy's decent is big for lightweight. So that's gonna play into it. But I just feel like Fizzie's gonna have more volume. Got a chin on him. He has the grappling, and you've seen in his last couple fights, he's been using the grappling. Even in his loss to Gagey, he was shooting beautifully, um, putting pain on Gagey. I thought he was winning that fight a decent chunk of it. Uh, Fiziev in the early parts was really ripping him. Bahamondes, everyone was doubting him. He put pain on Bahamondes, took him down how many times, was controlling him on the mat. I think that Ruffy's takedown defense is decently bad. He's gonna be throwing a lot of kicks here, and a plain Muay Thai game with Rafael Fiziev usually doesn't go well. Um, and just taking a look like with the Patty fight with Justin Gagey. Justin Gagey is top level. Like he is legit. And Rafael Fiziev's fighting those type of guys, getting right with Justin Gagey. And Ruffy just I don't know. I just feel like I can't pay favorite money here for Raf or for but I'm gonna pick Rafael Fiziev as my prediction by decision. I could see this fight going either way ultimately, but I'm gonna side with the guy I've seen more proven from. I can't bet on Ruffy after that how bad he looked. Because even in the striking in the BSD fight, BSD was fucking him up low key when I was looking at you, kicking him to the body, hurt him, putting hands on him. So I think Rafael Fiziev, unless he's washed and like his prime's over, which he's not even that old, I think he has the higher IQ and it's gonna put more volume out there, and it's tough. So the Rafael Fiziev plus 3.5 up to plus 7.5 for lay pieces, and the money line and an over. Um, there's a small possibility in my head. I could picture Ruffy catching him with something and like with his reach on the end of his shot and connecting with something and hurting Fiziev, but not enough for me to back him here. Uh, Give me the plus money with the proven guy. Um, Hot hand. Oh no,
He
he said
said
it.
he had,
Oh, he said to close
yeah.
it out. Yeah. All right, Mo.
Um, I was back and forth in this fight as well, but I just want to let you guys know, take what I say about this fight with a grain of salt because I'm like minus 10,000 on betting Rafael Fiziev bets. I cannot pick a fucking fight correctly with this motherfucker. It's just like I love him so much that I'd be so biased sometimes. Like against Justin Gaethje, middle
You
of the
faded
fight, I
him with
live bet.
Bahamondes, nigga.
Yeah,
Bahamondes was your
yeah.
lock.
I faded him against Bahamondes after that. After I lost 5,000 on him on Gaethje, that's why I was mad at him. You know what I'm saying? But also, I'm a huge Bahamondes fan, and I thought he'd be able to like keep the distance and control the range, but clearly he wasn't. And I feel like it's gonna be the same in this fight. Rufi's gonna try to keep the distance, but he's not gonna be able to because Rafael Fiziev has been in there with the best of the best. Not even in the UFC, in his Thailand fights and everything. Like he's just different, bro. His striking is different. Like you might see Rufi striking and be like, "Oh no, it's up there with him." Like, bro, it's not. Might be a little more flashy, but I promise you, Fiziev is the like way better striker. And at plus money, I'm taking him. But like I said, take what I say with a fucking grain of salt, bro. Because I cannot make money with this motherfucker in any fight, win or lose. If I pick him or don't pick him, I lose no matter what.
Unc, how do you feel?
Well, Fiziev is the striking coach from Tiger Muay Thai, which we know is the number one striking gym in the entire world. So you can't really get any higher than that in terms of striking. And then if Rufi's just creativity and the things that he comes up with, I mean, I hit big on the Rufi and under 1.5 on Bobby Green because nobody thought that he'd be able to get Bobby Green out of there. Comes out with there with the spinning wheel kick. But really playing into what Mo's saying, I really think this is going to be like a drag out war. And when you get two guys in a technical battle of like a war like that, it just comes down to who's been around longer, who's seen more, and who knows more, and that's Fiziev. Uh, I really like Rufi. I mean, I even think there's like a snowball's chance in hell of Rufi getting a sub. But overall, I'm gonna take Fiziev money line to win the fight. But that's not my bet. My bet, uh, did I already put it out for free? No, you know what? gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold that. Mike, you know what that is.
Um,
I'm gonna Fiziev.
Come on, Unc, just give the fans a little taste.
yeah, just
Let
drop
them
it.
hear it,
Fuck it.
All right, all right.
and
Fight
then
to
you can
not
post it as a free play.
fight to not go to be a not unanimous decision is -110, and they're gonna beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, I like that.
Someone's gonna say at least Ruffy won the fight. I mean, even if he starts clinching and stuff, so or Fiziev, you know, beats him up and gets him out of there. But
Yeah, I could see that.
the fight to not be unanimous -110.
Yeah, because that covers knockouts too. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, we'll keep. Hot Ham, where you at? You still around?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back.
All right.
Uh, I was heavy on Ruffy at first, or Ruffy, whatever, and I rewatched that Bahamondes fought, and I thought that if Fiziev could get past the range and the size of Bahamondes, he'll be able to do it with Ruffy. And I think this fight, moneyline wise, is going to come down to if Fiziev throws the leg kicks, because he has very, very underrated hard leg kicks, and I think that's going to disrupt the striking of
I
Ruffy.
think he's gonna kill Rufy's leg.
Yeah, like I said, I think this is a live bet fight. I think if I see Fiziev spamming those leg kicks, and I see Ruffy start to limp or be light, or like try and protect the legs more, and that they're compromised, I'm live betting Fiziev off rip. But my favorite play for this fight is this fight to go to decision. I don't see a knockout whatsoever in this fight, so I think that was like -130 or -140, which I like that piece a lot.
Yeah, I like that too. Also, I didn't. They're not out yet, so I didn't mention it. But I also want to mention. I think 100%. Unless there's the flash. First round knockout. Uh, I think that Fiziev's getting a takedown because he's been shooting his last multiple fights. Oh, they've actually dropped some takedown props for not this fight, but the next two fights. But I think Fiziev gets a takedown. I think his line will be a half. Maybe if it's more than a half, I'm not playing it. But I think he gets
If
one
you got
takedown.
if you guys seen too, Rufy looks in way better shape than in his last two fights. They just posted the pictures. Like, bro, he looks way bigger. And you also got to point out that Rufy's not training in his original gym. He moved to Australia for x whatever months how he's been there. So he's training at a new gym with Volkanovski, and I don't know how that's gonna affect the fight. I heard he's gonna have new coaches in there too. So that's why I'm on Fiziev as well. I think he's gonna win. He's just the better fighter, more experienced fighter.
For the co-main event, we got Benoit Saint Denis taking on Dan Hangman Hooker. You know they have to have him on this card, despite being from New Zealand. He's an Aussie favorite, and comes in as a sizable dog here against Benoit Saint Denis. Saint Denis absolutely dismantled Ruffy. Um, from the opening gun, got him down in the first minute and just looked unstoppable. And like I said earlier for the Ruffy breakdown, Benoit was putting work on him on the feet. But even back to when we covered Benoit Saint Denis versus Kyle Propolek, I said Benoit Saint Denis, his head movement is just so bad. Like he just doesn't give a fuck. He's just coming out there. He doesn't move his head off the center line, eating shots. Um, got that win over Benil Dariush too, but like I don't. And that was like off of him getting hit. He just grabbed the foot and then got like kind of lucky. Like it looked weird. But Benoit, Dan Hooker, you know he's gonna be absorbing shots. You know he's gonna be sending shots. Benoit has a huge advantage in the grappling realm, and I expect him to go for it just like he did in the Ruffy fight. You try to look back at the Dan Hooker Gamrot fight, and Gamrot before he was getting stunned a little bit, he was control. He was getting Dan Hooker, and I think Benoit's a little bit better of a striker than than what people give him credit for. And I like BSD here. I'm not liking -330. I'll tell you that, and I won't be playing that. I won't. I just don't. I just don't see it. -330. Dan, if you like, Dan Hooker could knock this dude out. Like if we're being super realistic, he can. BSD would be the one that Dan Hooker knocks out because of how he's so like out of like it just reminds me of the Dustin Poirier fight. But I don't know. I don't think Dan Hooker puts him to sleep, but I think there is a chance. So I wouldn't be opposed to playing his knockout at a sizable line for a sprinkle. But I'm gonna take BSD via submission as my official pick. I could see this one somehow going the distance, but not not super high chance. But give me an under or BSD submission as official prediction. Unc, what do you got here?
Yeah, so I mean, BSD, like I really don't want to take away from him, but he is like a crash out. Like we saw what happened when he tried standing in the pocket with Poirier, but then other times it works out for him. You know, he gets good knockouts and good submissions. One thing that nobody's arguing is he's better at grappling. Dan Hooker by submission is plus 2,200. So I may put like $3 on that just for the hell of it. Uh, I think the main play is Benoit Saint Denis by KO or submission minus 130, which I'll probably put a unit on. But I'm I'm not gonna lie, like I really fucking like Dan Hooker by KO in this fight. Dan Hooker is so good with the knees when people enter, and Benoit Saint Denis is short, man. And Hooker's like 6'3", Benoit's like 5'9". I mean, may have him listed at 5'10", but Poirier is a short guy. And when he fought Poirier, they were about the same size. So I can easily see Benoit Saint Denis trying to enter the pocket and catching a knee to the face. Also, Dan Hooker is crazy good in the clinch with the elbows and stuff. So like, and I really don't want to, count, Hooker out. Hooker's KO or sub is plus 450. You can take that and still take, you know, uh, BSD by KO or sub minus 130. You can have it both ways and still come out profitable. Um, but I don't think that any way, shape, or form this goes to a decision. I checked BSD's record. I couldn't even find a decision on there. You might have to click to like the third page, and Dan Hooker is gonna go to war with a guy that wants to go to war with him. And the fact that BSD is gonna want to keep pressing, Dan Hooker's gonna fight back, and Dan Hooker's mad good at from distance. So I just think that like I know we got Finney as the underdog on the card, but if someone had to say to me like, well, who do you think is the next person that has a chance? I think Dan Hooker has a chance of short, smaller stature. BSD enters the pocket, taking knees to the ribs, knees to the face, elbows to the face, and actually getting clipped. And Hooker and may getting a Hail Mary win here. So those are the options that I'm going with. Um, Overall, I'm gonna pick Dan Hooker to win the fight.
All right. Um, I like it. I everything you said, I pretty much agreed. I'm taking
I'm
BSD
gonna
because the
go.
grappling on the
I'm gonna go real
contingency that
quick, Mike, because I got family here. They just
all right,
came over.
bet.
So I'm gonna
Go
go
on.
with this one, and then I'm gonna do the Volk one
Yep.
right after, real quick. I agree with everything Unc just said as well. Dan Hooker's knees are lethal, but I'm on BSD sub here at plus 150, and then I think also a good hedge bet is Dan Hooker by KO at like plus 400. I think it is. No, it's plus 550 now. It went up. So I think this fight is not going the distance at all. What is the props on that? Let me see.
Like
Minus
minus
two
two
thirty
fifty
five.
ish.
Yeah, I mean I think that's like a good parlay piece, but I'm not betting that honestly. I
That's
think
Unc's leg for the collab.
yeah, I think BSD sub plus 150 and Dan Hooker plus 550 are two good bets because it's the only way I see these two fights, like this fight ending. And then next, I'm taking Volk against Diego Lopes because we all know what Volk does in rematches, and he's saying that he's nowhere near retirement. He's looking for like another 4 or 5 fights apparently. So we'll see. I'm not fading him after what he did last fight. I rewatched the fight and everything. Everybody's saying it was close, but it wasn't. I seen it the same way I seen it the first time. Volk beating his ass. Like there was obviously like some moments where Diego had, but like I'm not banking on a lucky knockout at a fucking plus 120, bro. It's not happening. I'm taking Volk all the way, and we've seen what he does in rematches.
All right, we'll catch you then, Mel. See you in the
All right, bro.
chats. Have a good night. Hot Hand, what do you got for this?
Same old.
Yeah, I think if you're betting BSD at minus 300, should get your balls snipped so your bloodline stops, because that's the stupidest pick I've ever heard of in my life. I think Dan Hooker is never going to get outgunned in a fight where it's just testosterone versus testosterone. Like when he fights someone like Armand, who's just technically better than him, it's an easy pick. But Dan Hooker will not get outballed. And I think Dan Hooker is going to be very live here. And I think we're going to see BSD start off hot and then slowly start fading because he doesn't know how to pace himself. So give me Dan Hooker at plus 270 any day of the week.
Damn, you guys are gonna make me take Dan Hooker too. We don't have a pick flop, but we'll have to talk about it. Fucking. Oh, I already fucked up. How the fuck I got Volk as tied to Tuivasa? But we got tied to Tuivasa versus Diego Lopes. Well, is Volk gonna retain the belt? Is he gonna stay on top? Is the question. We're all torn here. Uh, the podcast is split at 2-2 on who we have to win. I'm taking Volk again. He cashed me last time, and like Mo said, when I watched it again, I felt the same way. I actually felt it was the second time I watched it. I was expecting to go in and be like, "All right, this shit was closer than I thought." No, it was more an ass whooping than I thought. That shit was a 49-46, 4-1. Yeah, Volk at the moment of getting dropped by Lopes, and Lopes is always going to be in the fight because he's dangerous everywhere. But the way that Volk was kind of like just I just looked like he was just different level in there. And like I said with like exactly what Mo said, I'm not banking on a random fluke knockout of Volk like for only plus 120 on Diego Lopes. Maybe the spreads are worthwhile. I think this one goes the distance. I don't think Diego gets finished either. So Diego spreads are always in play, but it'd have to be one of the higher ones at plus 9.5 or plus 13.5 for me to consider it. I'm going Volk. Um, I'm taking a look at Volk in like round two to start. Can also be a look, but at the end of the day, like there's only one person I'm backing in Australia, like for a title fight, and it's not Diego Lopes. So that's all I gotta say. Unk take over.
So I took Diego Lopes last time. He let me down. He knocked Volk down, but Volk put masterclass on then and just kind of cruised to the win. Kind of put Lopes like he put him in slow motion, kind of like had him stuck in the mud, didn't really know what to do. I think this time around, Lopes is going to realize like he has the physical, stature. He's bigger. I mean, he's younger. He has the tools to win. It's just he needs to fight a perfect fight. And I think, Lopes, after having the experience of fighting for the belt and losing and everything, is going to be able to, mentally compile himself to be able to come back and get the win this time. My official pick is going to be Diego Lopes, and over 4.5 minutes, it comes out to plus 185. Yeah, we're having the viewing party at my house this week. So we'll be having everybody here, barring snowstorm or anything else, and half the team's on Lopes and half the team is on Volk. So let's do what Hot Hand has to say on why he likes Lopes.
Yeah, Unk already knows the vibes here. We're riding with Lopes. Last time I was on Volk, I think I took him. I think it was rounds 4-5 or decision, which is available on FanDuel. But the biggest thing while I was on Volk before was Lopez's cardio was known to be shit. Then we seen him fade the fight before Volk against Dan Ige, so I was unsure of that. But Lopes assured me his last fight against Volk that he has the cardio to go 25. And I think his problem before was he was too aggressive. We seen he fixed it with Gene Silva, which he was patient, which led to the KO. So I think Lopes is just more dangerous. I think he's going to have bigger moments in this fight, but the crowd is behind Volk. I was on Lopez's money line, but the more I think about it, the more like stuck I am on a pick here. But I suggest taking Lopes plus 13.5. I think Lopes is the one with the finishing ability here. So I don't see Volk finishing Lopes, and I think Lopes could surely steal a round. If he even drops Volk one round or wobbles him, I think it's going to steal a round. So I don't see it in any scenario that it's a 50-45 Volkanovski on all three. So give me Lopes plus 13.5. I think that's honestly probably one of my favorite plays of this entire card.
Yeah, I have that in parlays. The only problem with it is it's minus 275.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's his parlay piece for the collab. Before we get to the collab, quick, I usually have this in the middle, but I forgot. Obviously in the description, join Fade Factory if you want to get our official snipes, our cheat sheets, pretty much all of it, the fight companion, everything. Um, hop in MMA gems, cheaper than fucking ordering from fucking Domino's right now. It's not about the money. We just need some type of incentive for the hours that we put in, so we don't feel like straight degenerates. Um, hop in the Fate Factory. That the cord's free. You're gonna see a lot of gas in the cord for free. And then if you want to take that extra step, you get to the gems and the plus side. But without further ado, we'll get to the collab real quick. Got plus 283 here. Um, Unk going with Saint Denis Hooker. Fight doesn't go the distance. Billy Elekana moneyline for Mo. Diego Lopes plus 13.5 for hot hand. Now I'm going Cam Rowston minus 3.5. Um, I like this lay a lot, and I hope you guys do too. Uh, as usual, thank you guys for sticking around, and we'll see you guys at the cash counter.
Thanks for listening.